gets it off a screen. Michael Jordan with 4 seconds. Fakes, shoots.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey folks, what's good? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. I'm your host Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to give you guys 7 reasons why Michael Jordan was still Michael Jordan at age 40, so when he was playing with the Washington Wizards. But before we dive into that, let me give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Today's episode is brought to you by Magic Spoon Grain-Free Cereal. Since I am a kid of the 1980s, I grew up with my weekly dose of Saturday morning cartoons, and naturally, my cereals. But getting older and having to watch my diet, I can't just eat any cereals. And that's why Magic Spoon is so great. All the taste of delicious cereals, but healthy. Magic Spoon cereals have 0 gram of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, and only 140 calories per serving. They're also gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and of course, low carb. My favorite flavor is peanut butter, but you can also go with cocoa, fruity, and frosted. Any of them are just delicious. Click the link below and grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use my promo code BTM to get $5 off. Or go to magicspoon.com/BTM. Get it now. So how am I going to approach this video? Well, just as I said in the beginning of the video, I narrowed it down to 7 categories. So let's start with category number 1. Reason number 1 are Michael Jordan's fundamentals. I can't say it often enough. When a player reaches his mid-30s, that's exactly when you see how good a player really is. If your game relies heavily on athleticism, you are going to be in big trouble once Father Time calls you. You can see this with many superstars. They don't even average 10 points in the mid-30s. And this is again something where Michael Jordan was outstanding. We have to remember he came back to play for the Wizards after sitting out 3 entire seasons. And still he was able to average more than 20 points at age 38, 39, and age 40. He had sensational fundamentals, was always positioned right, and this is a major reason why his game almost was as good as in his mid-30s.
So I asked Michael, how much time did you spend working on all those incredibly spectacular plays that ESPN keeps looping on a constant basis? And he looked at me with incredulity. And he said without hesitation, Bill, I didn't spend a second on any of that stuff. I spent all my time on the fundamentals.
Yeah, I think Michael was the first great athlete that was the most fundamentally sound. Most great athletes, they don't try to be fundamentally sound, so they just jump over you, they run faster than you. But if you look at Michael, he'd have the correct hand in the passing lane. He'd have defensively, he's the only guy, he was Deion Sanders of basketball, where you wouldn't run a play on his side of the court because he was defensively could stop that side of the court. So, I don't think there's ever been anyone like him.
And the next reason was also a pretty huge one, Michael Jordan's go-to move, his fadeaway jump shot. Just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had his skyhook, Jordan developed a deadly post game and his fadeaway jump shot. The combination of strength and footwork was almost unguardable. Jordan was even able to post up bigs with this move and still score. When you know what's coming and you still can't defend it, that just shows how special this move was. And the good thing was that this move did work no matter the age.
MJ fadeaway, good 14 points for his airness from Jordan. MJ works free, gets up his feet, and was able to pull up the block. Jordan Fires a jumper. Quick. Beyond the arm.
And the next reason that I have on my list is Michael Jordan's basketball IQ. Now, it's a known fact that Jordan was one of the smartest basketball players of all time. And naturally, the older you get, the smarter you have to play in order to still contribute and to be successful. This again was something that MJ perfected. He would choose his shots more wisely, and on defense, he would see things before they even happen. This is why Michael Jordan still averaged 1.5 steals per game at age 40. Also, I would like to add that he was taking his time on offense and not rush anything. He knew that he could not outrun anybody at that stage of his career, but still he would outsmart them and get his opponents exactly where he wanted them.
Jones the trigger. Jordan for the win. Got it! At the buzzer. He's done it again. Tied 83. Now Jordan. Played by Sprewell has the 5. Here's Michael. Firing and hits for 3 and 2/10 seconds.
And the next reason why Michael Jordan still ruled at age 40 was his confidence. When MJ came back to play for the Washington Wizards, he still had the mindset of a winner. He still believed that he was the best player in the NBA, and he could see his confidence in his style of play. MJ demanded the ball, would run isolation plays, and would also trash talk the younger players on the opposing team. And his confidence helped to cause fear in the eyes of his opponents. But more on that later.
You had the utmost confidence. Your confidence level was through the roof. Where is it now?
On top of the roof. I don't think my confidence changed. I wouldn't have come back into this situation lacking in confidence that I can play this game. And I know I can play this game. And I know I can play it at the highest level and successfully.
And the next reason is Michael Jordan's all-around game. Now, if you weren't around at that time and never saw MJ play in his heyday, you might think that he was just this unstoppable scoring machine. But MJ always prided himself in being a complete basketball player. And this did not change when he played for the Washington Wizards. If we take a look at his numbers, you will see that Jordan was putting up solid numbers in every major category. He would rebound, he would pass, just like an all-rounder should. So even when he had a game where he didn't score as much, he would be able to put some other numbers on the stat sheet. And this just shows what type of basketball player MJ was.
On the wing against Artest. Michael blocked by Artest. Oakley to Mercer. Mercer on the run. Oh, what a play! What a defensive play! A two-hand block steal.
And for the next reason, I think Steve Kerr said it best at NBA Open
What made
Court.
him different?
I think just the will to win and the way that manifested itself in practice. I mean, every day was a battle. It really was. Whether it was a scrimmage, shooting drill, didn't matter. He wanted to win so badly, and that established the entire culture for the team. I mean, here's the greatest, most talented player on earth who's working harder than anybody. So if that doesn't kind of establish who you are, as an identity, as a team, I don't know what does.
And the last reason that I have on my list was the fear factor. If you are a Jordan fan, then you know that many players feared MJ. When he was playing for the Bulls, guys literally prayed the night before the game that Jordan would not embarrass them in front of their whole family. Fast forward many years later, and Jordan was playing for the Washington Wizards, and most players still were afraid of MJ. This resulted in guys being so nervous that they literally had an off night against MJ. I talked to many players of that era, and they all confirmed that there was this huge fear factor when Michael Jordan stepped on the court. So MJ, when guys feared you when you were 40, you did everything right.
Once the cigar comes out, it's like he's already lighting the victory cigar before the competition. I had a chance to play against Michael Jordan, but it was when he had the Wizards uniform on, so it wasn't quite prime Michael Jordan. It was 40-year-old Michael Jordan.
Jordan to Laker. Nice pass. Michael Jordan.
I remember he still was a phenomenal athlete. He still had great footwork, and he actually gave me about 30 points.
Jordan over Pierce. He's got it. Michael Jordan equaled his season's high, 31.
So it was like my third year in the league, and he was still probably one of the top 10 athletes in the game at the time. Yeah, he trash talked a little bit. I remember him hitting the fadeaway, telling me you can't get to that.
Pierce, defending Jordan. Ball away, he hits. 29.
You know, to me, being a huge Michael Jordan fan, I was happy when he came back to play for the Washington Wizards. Even though many people said that he had the storybook ending when he was playing for the Bulls, hitting the final shot against the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals, but I was happy for every single game that I could see Michael Jordan play. So MJ, thanks for coming back. Anyway, you guys, that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to check out the sponsor of today's video, Magic Spoon. Get your price reduction at magicspoon.com/BTN. See you next time.